This is Catherine Tran, and I am actually the Executive Director of the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit. I know many of you know me from the community CPA side, but the other hat that I wear is helping to put together the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit events. And so I am happy to talk today about what we're expecting for August 14th at our virtual event. This will be our first year doing the virtual summit. So we're very excited for this new opportunity. Obviously COVID has been an unexpected reality for everybody. And this is our way of pivoting, as many businesses are also pivoting. So here today is Ying Sa. She is CEO of Community CPA, which is one of the main sponsors of IES's events. And has been since the very beginning. She is also one of the founding board members. So Ying, thank you for being on today.
Thank you for inviting me, Catherine. I want to chip in terms of virtual event. So COVID obviously changed our lifestyles and pushing us forward to 2050. I think that this kind of lifestyle would exist maybe 50 years later. That's in my imagination, but it's such a great way that for us to know future a little faster. So I actually very excited about virtual event because that means I don't have to move anywhere. I can actually get all the content that you offer in the event. So not only you help to get the event going, you really is creating a platform so people can use a click of a finger to get to learn all they need to learn. In the past, they have to drive, they have to park, they have to walk in, and they have to do all kind of, taking care of the kids and put them in daycare before I can come. Now that is all irrelevant. They can just hop on the computer, hop on their phone, their iPad, and there you are inside of the virtual IES event.
Correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, very cool. And the fact that it lets us talk to people from, across the country if we need to, and have them join our event. That would be much more difficult.
Yeah. That is so okay. I mean, nowadays that's how we get connected. Why are we limiting ourselves to just our neighbors and our next doors? No, we should expand ourselves. We should start kind of building that kind of virtual friendship network. And yes, I don't know Kat in person, but I meet with her on virtual event, and we know each other virtually. There has to be a concept of a category of friendship. We call them kind of virtual friends, or what do you call them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that is an important, you should come up with a name for it.
Yes.
So Ying, I will start sharing slides, but do you want to start off with telling our audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Ying Sa. Like Catherine mentioned, that I am the CEO of Community CPA, and the Community CPA is a accounting firm. So we do tax accounting and audit services and a governmental audit. So we do whole sets of CPA firm normally do, and just in the smaller scale because we are a smaller firm, and we have about 25 employees, and we have over 9,000 clients. The number doesn't sound small, but obviously compared to KPMG, we are a lot smaller. But we do have the ambition to grow to be a minority-owned KPMG. And I just want you to know that the clients who are coming to our firm, and many of them are English as second language speakers, and many of them are refugees from another country, and then many of them is the first generation of an immigrant. So so Community CPA is always at the heart of supporting Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit, because for every nonprofit, there has to be someone behind the scene to make sure it's financially sound and it can run the business, the nonprofit mission, and ongoing. So IES has already been here since 2008. And Community CPA has been the sponsor of IES since the beginning. Obviously, it's an imagination of 3 people, and I will get there and explain to you how exactly IES come about. And the other thing I want you to know about me is I'm serving on the National Taxpayer Advocacy Panel. It's a federal advisory committee to Internal Revenue Service. And when you have ideas to improve IRS, you can email me, and through my committee, I can submit your recommendation to IRS to make IRS a better government organization for taxpayers. And one last thing, but not the least, is the book I wrote last year called Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. And if you haven't wake up, if you don't wake up normally at 8 a.m. and you know that I start my appointment as early as that. So my first appointment representing the business that just starting. So it's called Starting Up a Business. So that whole book is all about how people got into business and started a business. It's a storytelling experience displaying book. It is not cut and paste out of internet, and it is all of the story inside of Community CPA. So I would highly encourage you to get a book from Amazon. It's on Amazon. I think the book price is $15, and you can buy it and leave a comment for me. So far, I have 5 stars, and I would like to see your comments about the book. Back to you, Kat.
I will say regarding Ying's book, a couple of things. One is that she has donated some of the proceeds of her book to IES. So we are very thankful for that contribution. Also, I have read some of the book, and I will say that I love the stories. They're drawn so much from the experience of immigrants, business owners, and I think that is very valuable. So I have, and it's also very practical and hands-on. So there are different worksheets that you can get into. So also with her book, though, the first 50 registrations to the IES events will get a copy of her book thanks to the Moline Foundation. So I just wanted to insert that in. Thank you, Ying. Okay, so about me, I recently joined the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit as the executive director. I started out just in, November 2019 is when it started. And then I bring to IES a lot of background in nonprofit development, event planning and management. And very much looking forward to this first full year. It's very different than what I've done in the past, but virtual events are a thing now. So that is me. So Ying, would you like to tell about the no responsibility disclaimer?
Yeah, we typically will put that there and don't relying on the internet information when you make real critical decisions for your life, your business, and your inheritance. You know that you need to consult professionals, and IES is a platform for you to find people like Community CPA. So make sure that you be responsible for the decision you make, not relying on internet information.
All right, so IES's mission and purpose. This will, I just want to give you an overview of what IES is and does. So the mission, we bring businesses of diverse backgrounds together to learn, share, and celebrate the immigrant entrepreneurship experience and contribution to the overall community. So the way this looks like is through the summits, which is very much focused on the educational components of starting a business, strengthening your business, and we'll get into those the seminars, what they'll look like in a little bit. But the purpose, we exhibit the success stories of immigrant entrepreneurs, as seen in our awards. We create understanding among different ethnic groups, business growth tips are shared among owners, and the keys to success are shared in a competitive, creative, and supportive environment. Ying, can you, since you've been a founding member of the IES, can you tell us a bit about the history?
Sure, that's, I would be so eager to let the world know how IES is coming about. So a story here, back in 2008, folks, if you remember 2008, that was the downturn of economy and the big banks are failing, economy are shaking, all of those mortgage companies are closing countrywide, if you remember. So that is the time of 2008. And during that time, I started community CPA back in 1998. So you kind of can see that I kind of in the business already for 10 years. So there was a gentleman one day, and in 2008, another thing about me is that at that time, I was still working at Wells Fargo as a vice president of controllers for several of their business sectors. And so I was working during the day at Wells Fargo, and in the evening or early in the morning before I go to work, and I would stay in my office trying to finish some things. So that particular morning, I came in actually at 4 o'clock in the morning to the office because my Wells Fargo's job starts at 8. So I had about, 3 hours to work on something. So I went into the office at 4 o'clock. There was a car parked outside of the office. The light was on and there's a person in the car. So I was kind of scared because I didn't really expect anybody out there. So I didn't even pass the car. I kind of parked myself a little away. Then I went in the office and I closed the door, and I'm just sitting thinking that I'm not gonna bother with the car outside. Then soon the office phone rang, and the guy is calling from the car to the office, and he said, "Can I see you, Ying?" And he speaks Spanish, has a very strong Spanish accent. So I said, "Okay, why?" And this is 4 o'clock in the morning. He goes, "I didn't even sleep because I'm so worried about the notice I got from IRS. I just decided to stay here until you come." So I let him in, and he brought in a whole box of IRS notice. And he said that, "I don't know, I'm too scared of opening it up." So I said, "Just let's open them." So he picked up the envelope and he was opening it. I can tell his hands was trembling. So he was that scared and that distressed about it. So I opened the files and I look at the taxes and the notice from IRS. He owes some $50-some thousand, and from a sales transaction in real estate. So then I asked him about this real estate transaction, which he lost money from head to toes, and he doesn't know why he owes. So it is obviously a matter that can be resolved. And he is like, "I had a business there, and then I got these notice. I got so scared. I closed my business. I don't want troubles. Ying, I am an immigrant, and I am so good with everything. I don't even get a traffic ticket, but now I'm getting this. My life just ends, and my wife wants to divorce me because I don't know what happened. I owe like so much money." And that is where I start to think that, there are a lot of people in business and they go out of business for the fear that really should not be there. If they have a knowledge, they would never end up there. So do you know how long it take us to fix his problem?
How long?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. So this tells you that with a knowledge, things can be resolved. But this poor guy was sitting on the notice for years and years and just doesn't know what to do and is so scared and finally lose sleep than sitting in the office, sitting outside of my office. So that's one story that really touched me very deeply to make me think that it is not the answer to tell them, go back to school, learn, go for a master's degree. That's not the answer. But the answer is that how do you provide the knowledge to them that they could absorb? So yeah, I can send them to local community college, but that's also not the answer because they don't have that kind of time. And then if you really trying to do a training on financial statement from debit to credit, that's not what they need to know. They just want to know what to do with this particular issue. So how can we really dive in specific issues? For example, how you can be audited by IRS. So specific, practical business advice in a short time and in the crunched in fashion, so they can all learn, so we can raise the knowledge level. So this is what I call the equalizer. So creating an equalizer in business knowledge. So the business people, whether it's immigrant business entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who has no history of doing business, grow up here, so they can come together, learn it, like they are all immigrant for businesses, right? So, as long as you're not growing up in a family like Donald Trump's family, why do you know anything about business? You don't. You just don't hear your parents talking about anything. I know that in my family, my 3 kids, they understand business. The reason is because I go back home, I talk about it. But imagine if I am a college professor, like my husband, math professor. What do you want math professor know about business? They don't, because it's a separate kind of a lifestyle. So we want to create that for people. This is where IES idea was born. So that's one of my example, Kat.
Excellent. And I think it also shows your entrepreneurial spirit because you took a downturn and saw opportunity there to really help people and serve the community. So just wanted to point that out. That's great. So from the attendee perspective, I just wanted to give an overview of what the event will look like. So as Ying said, seminars, right? So workshops devoted to instructing on various business topics that that business and entrepreneurs can apply right away. Those are meant to be very practical and accessible for people. And then the award ceremony is another portion of our event, and that always highlights the stories and success of successful immigrant entrepreneurs, successful immigrant-owned businesses, and just to really bring up the immigrant entrepreneurial spirit. And then part of it is resource sharing. So we invite exhibitors to come and talk about their business, to share their resources. So we partner with a lot of different organizations around entrepreneurship and business, such as SCORE and SBDC and SBA. Those are our partners that we always try to have people know more about so that they can find opportunities when those show up. As well as networking in general and getting connected to people, outside of their own communities. So that is important. So 2020, our event is obviously going to be different because it's virtual, right? But we will be on a virtual platform. It's called Accelerants, and I'll walk you through that later. It will still have the educational seminars. There are 3 different tracks for those seminars. So and all of these are around addressing issues that COVID has created. So one will be on starting a business during this time. What would that look like? The second track will be involved on strengthening and pivoting your business. And the third will be more on closing out selling your business. Award ceremony, we will have our virtual awards ceremony that is open for anyone to come in and join and watch as we honor these honorees for this year. We're very excited to share their stories. Resource sharing, there will be an expo booth component as well as a networking component so that you can get the resources still that you need as well as connect to other people. So, Ying, can you tell us a bit about the past, the award ceremony and any past stories that were particularly meaningful to you?
Sure. Like Kat was saying, IES is kind of structured to really bring out this the entrepreneur spirit of yours. Okay, so if you look at our structure of IES, we first emphasize on the education piece, which is the financial literacy. We are actually giving you those classes are very practical class. For example, one of a long-term class we offered for almost 10 years, which was the 10 legal traps that you will see in business. So those kind of classes are really the core education value we give you. So it is nothing about um, to have you we're it's not about to educate you in general. It is to give you tools to know exactly what you need to do. For example, we talk about licensing. So we talk about all the business, all kind of business, what kind of licensing requirement you need, because those are the things that you must know. Otherwise, you can get into nail salon business and not knowing that everybody who does the nails need to have a license, and the business need a license too. So stuff like that. So we teach. Then after we give you the knowledge, we also want to give you a role model. This is where the award recipients award program comes in, and we're typically doing it during the lunch ceremony, luncheon time. But because we can really have all of us sitting eating lunch together like we used to do, and that day will come. But for this year, next year, maybe we would stay away from that. But we still have this open luncheon virtual hall. You can come in to see the award recipients. The award recipients is really selected to inspire you, to give you a role model. You can look at that person, goes, wow, I want to be that person. So you can follow. You know how when we live our life, it is so simple and plain that we must have a role model, otherwise you don't go forward. And you, whether you know it or not, you already have a role model. Maybe your role model is your parents. Maybe your role model is your sister. Maybe you call that, no, she's not my role model, I'm jealous of her. That's okay. Jealousy is a way some people expressing respect. So they want to be that person, so they think they're jealous. But in reality, you are setting that person as your role model. That's what that is. Okay, so we want that to be in your spirit. So we award recipients and get you encouraged. And one of the recipients we have, and I think that's in 2014, and we awarded a 3 foreign students. They are ISU engineering foreign student, not from US. They have F1, they have visa, okay? But they invented a technology where I call them black box technology. And you put in the farm waste from one side. It came out as a useful black char for fertilizing on the other end. And so the concept, the thought is so simple, it's so useful, and they start to invest in there. Then they have a very strong support from American people here locally, provide them farm ground, provide them places to work. So they start building equipment. And in 2018, they already sold one piece to Canada. A forest operation bought their machine because they want to produce, they want to put the raw wood chips into one end, come up with useful things on the other end, and furthermore, they improve the equipment so they can have this, you know, what you call that smoke, the smoke liquid, so that can be used for cooking. Okay,
That's amazing.
so I'm not a scientist, and I'm really bad at. I felt like I made scientists look so pale because I'm not putting in fancy words, but that's the idea. And if you know someone who is not even a citizen of the country and study here, use the knowledge the American professor taught, and building, inventing something here, and then they become citizens and they become the Americans. And can you imagine what a brilliant path they're going through? And that's the spirit of America. And I don't care how you are different from me. And the spirit of America is you as a person can maximize your value. And we all have a different way to maximize our value, but you'll find your own path. So that's where the award recipients, the example we give you, if you go on to IES website, it is IESUSA.org, and under the main banner you can go to program, then you will see previous year's program in there, the videos, the fun, everything is in there. I will tell you that every year, and after IES is almost a station like a Tesla get charged for the whole year to run. So we all get plugged into IES, get charged, and go for another year. So it's just IES now growing to be so much bigger. So Kat is putting IES into different time, different stage. So we still have the national one in November, but we have this one, August 14. We call that regional IES. It is a regional IES that we used to do in Illinois, Moline. But because of the situation, we don't do that. We made it an East Regional IES. But really, even if you come from far east, you can still register. And the register fee, the registration is $15, folks. And not that we care about you buying a ticket, but we really love you to donate that money to IES so IES can go forward. But in any case, IES is committed by the sponsors like Community CPA, by like Wells Fargo, like US Bank. Those are the names I give you because they were here the whole time. And the DMAC Community College. And those are the people who had supported IES almost by gravity. We're talking about just part of the life anymore. It's always there. Is supporting for more than 10 years. And so, but we need grassroots support, people like you. So if you can register and then you can pass on the opportunity to other people, and it's just $15, but that is a great support. We take your $15, we know your name, we know you support it. We take that $15 like 15,000 because we know how much that means at this time. Right, Kat, do you agree with me?
I do. I know it's a difficult time for businesses and individuals. So, we do try to offer it at a very affordable price, and yeah, we hope to see people come out and have a great experience and hear these amazing stories. So, like being said, having people who look like you, who you can kind of relate to in terms of their history and past, I think is very important as an ethnic minority. So this year, I am happy to announce our 2020 awards for the regional. So Outstanding Business Award honors an immigrant-owned, at least 50% ownership, business that serves as a model of success in both profit and philanthropy. They utilize business strategies to carry the mission of community involvement and civic engagement, while also, of course, providing a healthy profit margin. So this year, this is actually a group of restaurants, Lua Pancake and Burrito House being one of them. But the owners, Pedro Lua and Judith Mariscal, they have several different restaurants in the Quad Cities area. And the heart of what they want to do is obviously to connect people through food, that is important to them, but also to create jobs. So they see their work as a way of supporting the community, getting people securely in work. So they are they're a very inspiring group couple, and they come from Mexico. And prior to them opening restaurants, they had a very different career path, and this is just something that they thought would be of service to their community, and so they started these restaurants. So we're very happy to honor their story and highlight their story. The next one is the Immigrant Champion Award, which is an award for somebody who has made a positive impact in the immigrant community. It's a non-immigrant person. They demonstrate both personal and professional commitment and advocacy towards immigrants and families, immigrant families and communities. So this year is Randy Moore, who is the president of Iowa American Water. He is someone who is very committed to community. He is affiliated with many different boards, such as the Quad Cities Community Foundation, African American Leadership Society, Davenport Rotary Club, and Davenport, Iowa Civil Rights Commission, to name a few. And then he's working to create an inclusive and welcoming community for people and groups. So he's very well respected in the Quad Cities area. The last one is the Immigrant Spirit Award, which recognizes the lifelong commitment to professional business excellence and altruistic pursuits. And this year, her name is Bitu Jain. She has a business of over 25 years called Textiles, located in downtown Iowa City. And so she's kind of been a fixture and an advocate for the business community in downtown Iowa City, and has a great passion for not just the fabrics and clothing, but also in creating a healthy business environment in Iowa City. So she serves on the Iowa City Downtown District and the Iowa City Convention and Visitors Bureau. So we'll have videos of them accepting their awards at the virtual events.
Yeah, come over to meet them online. I mean, these are the people you want to meet, even if this is the first time you hear their name. But trust me, once you know this name and you dig into their story, that you realize that this is the exact inspiration that you're looking for.
Yes, absolutely. You've talked a little bit already, Ying, about the workshops. Can you tell a bit about community CPA's involvement in that and what attendees can expect when they will go to a virtual one?
Sure. So like folks kind of know that community CPA has been on the market to provide accounting, tax, audit services to the public since 1998. So with all of these years experience, we really know what people need to know for that particular time. For example, when we were in 2008, because the financial market was crashing, so a lot of people had borrowed a lot of money, and because it was easy to borrow, and then it's easy to go bankrupt. So there's a lot of need to recognize how to reorganize the businesses to overcome the overwhelming debt requirement. So the planning committee for the workshops, we would come up with topics like, what happened if you file bankruptcy? So that gives people a real understanding of this is something pressing. So with COVID-19, and in our community CPA, we do webinars every day at 3 o'clock. So during those webinars, we talk about the real issue that in front of you. For example, on July 15, everybody was filing their taxes, right? We moved the due date from April 15 to July 15. But do you know that you probably shouldn't be filing taxes if you don't know there is a 16 tax incentives that is out there from CARES Act that need to be implemented for 2019. Even though we're filing 19, you probably think, oh, wow, COVID-19 had nothing to do with 19. It is in 20. So I can file my 19 just the way it is. No, because you are wrong. See, these are the knowledge that we bring to the workshops, and we knew what we see. So we give those topics to the planning team, have them organize what is the best to be taught at IES. So I'll tell you that IES workshops has nothing to do with fancy, has nothing to do with political agenda, has nothing to do with who is the sponsor, who knows how to talk. It has everything to do with what's needed today. So it is a very practical workshop. And if you have never attended IES workshop, I'll tell you that you just basically missed out cash on the floor and you didn't pick up. That's fine. If that's what you are so good at, not picking up money, I'm telling you that I pick up every penny if I see on the ground, because I want to respect the money. So you want to respect the free knowledge that coming your way and really grab it. So I'll say that you register for the workshop and you should expect those knowledge are so practical, so real, and to the point. There's nobody going to run you around selling you something. No, we're there to provide everything we know to you for free. That's the goal.
Awesome. So the workshops for this coming event, again, it's virtual, but like you would be going into a conference, there are going to be different workshops that are happening at the same time. So these are the concurrent breakout sessions, and there will be 3 ongoing workshops going on at the same time in each of these sessions. So I will show the virtual platform we're using this year. It's called Excelevents, to kind of show and demonstrate the way it works, and show you how the tracks are.
Kat, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What if the concurrent workshop means they happen at the same time in different rooms? But what if I'm interested in all 3? Are you telling me that I'm going to miss out at least 2 because I can only attend 1?
When you're viewing it live, that is correct. You can only view 1 at a time, but you will be able to watch it after it airs. So
so I can go back to the event. After the real event finished, there's a recording online that I can go back to look at all the workshops. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. Okay. It will be replayed. So let me see if I can show you the platform. 1 second. Let's see if I can share that screen. Okay, I will show you first the registration page. Can you see what I'm singing? The Excelevents? Okay. I see. So excelevents.com/e/IES virtual is the website URL, but you can also go to iesusa.org, and there's a link directing you to this website. But this is the this portal is where you will buy your ticket here for the $15, and then here you'll also see the description and the agenda. So here we've laid out what will happen. So these are the concurrent breakouts that I was talking about. So 10 a.m., there will be 3 different ones, one on starting a business during crisis, the second, accessing and leveraging business resources, and the third, consumer collections and bankruptcy. So if you go to agenda, it will actually show you the full details of what you can expect. So this is the main stage, which is the general session. But if you click on it, it will show you what the speaker will be talking about, as well as if you click on the speaker, it will give you a bio of the person speaking. So for example, on the community CPA side, one of the workshops is how to do business with an item. So one of community CPA's accountants is doing that one, and she is there, Monica. So you can find out more about the session and about her as well. So that is just the registration page. For the day of the event, you would go back to excelevents.com/e/IES virtual, and there will be a login button, which you'll use the same email address you bought your ticket with, and you can sign in, and it will bring you to the pub, essentially. Sorry. This pulls up. So this is the lobby. It will tell you right now there's nothing going on, but you can post what you want there. This is the main stage. So those are the two events that are going to be happening as a general session. So the opening ceremony, everybody is invited to attend, as well as the awards celebration. So those will be shown here, and the stream you will see happening on this page. Sessions, these are the different breakout sessions. So these will be listed by time, but you can also filter by tracks and tags, or by speaker. If you flag a session, then you can pull it up by your interest. So these will have, again, the same sort of information, the description of the workshop, plus the individual biography of each of the people speaking. Networking, there are a couple of sessions where you can meet other folks who are interested in business and entrepreneurship. So there are 30-minute sessions, and you can meet them one-on-one. The algorithm will match you with somebody in the system. Expo. This is something that we highly encourage people to go into. The Expo booth shows all of our community partners, but not only that, they allow for resource documents to be shared on there. So when you go and you click into their, let me see, so if you go into them, you'll see the company details, you might see a video stream, and then any documents and links. If you download a document from there, there's a gamification, and it will give you points for every document you download. And the points at the end will go towards our giveaway. So, and then people, you can see who else are in the portal at the top. So that is the portal itself. So I just wanted to give you a sneak preview of that. Sorry, I'll go back to the slideshow. Okay, so we went to here. Okay, yep, so this is the general, yep, and again, it's excelevents.com/e/IES virtual.
So, Kat, is it possible that so you mentioned that they can go to iesusa.org to register. Can you just demo that so people, just in case people don't know how to spell excelevents.com?
Yeah, yes, for sure. Hold on a second, please.
English is my second language, and I'll tell you that when I came to Canada, they already start using Word Perfect as the software, like, you know, before Microsoft Word. So I learned English on spelling checks, and I'm so bad at spelling. It just not right. Supposed to be secret, but I just announced it on a website. Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that. So
Don't tell anybody. Just keep it there.
it's iesusa.org. So IES is the organization name and USA. So it will pull up our website. And then if you just click here under register now, it will link you directly into the Excel events page. So let me see if we can open a new tab. And I'll pull you right up to the registration page so you can buy
Yep,
tickets.
we came back to the same place, sullivan's.com. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So again, if you wanted to look at the agenda, you can also go to iesusa.org and it will have the same agenda listed out for you.
And don't forget that big blue things there is called donate.
Yes.
And so you can definitely share your fortune with a nonprofit organization like IES, and every single penny in IES goes to the event, and nobody get paid at IES, and we are a nonprofit, serve all the immigrant entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who are immigrant to businesses.
All right, well, that is the end of our session for today. We'll take any questions now if there are any. I see there are attendees, so I'll wait a minute to see if anybody has questions. Otherwise, again, as I said, you can go to iesusa.org and register for the event August 14th. So it's coming up
Kat, there is a question. Someone is asking, when is the event, and when is the last day of registration?
Yes, so you can register up through that day. So they can still jump on in the 14th and buy tickets before the event. So the event will officially start at 9 a.m. If you buy tickets before then, you can still get in.
So it's August 14th.
Yes, it's a Friday. Yep.
All right.
9 a.m. till, it'll run until about 4 p.m.
So there's another question. They're asking, what is you mentioned about something, the points, you get award. They're asking for what that is.
So it's called gamification in Excel events. So basically, the more sessions you attend and how long if you watch the full session versus if you're just clicking through it. And also if you visit the exhibitor booth, those all will give you certain points towards the end, and there will be a leaderboard where you can see people's points and the top ranking and most active people who are at the event itself. So yes, we'll do a fun giveaway for it as motivation to keep looking through the different events, sessions, and to engage with our expo booth and network with people. So you'll get points for all those things.
So those giveaways are what, Kat?
So those giveaways are through an organization that has donated to IES in the past. So there are different tech
gadgets.
Yes,
like
gadgets.
Electronic scales and earphones, and it's all brand new things that we normally would buy from Amazon.
Correct.
Is in our storage. It's actually in the same room where Kat is sitting. A lot of them. So please register so you will get them. And Kat, I also remember you said that the first 50 registration we received, they will receive a free book from me.
Yes.
And this is the book. I marked them because those are different notes I'm making. And you know, if you write something, you always want to change it. So I have a lot of things I want to improve.
Yes.
So you will get one of my book for free.
Yes.
I'm hoping that I will generate 50 5 stars
Yes.
on the book.
Yes. When you get it, please do review and give Ying your feedback. She loves hearing what people thought of it
Yes.
and how it's been able to impact their lives.
Yeah, I am working on another book. It's called Appointment with Ying at 10 a.m. And so 8 a.m. You started it. 10 a.m. You're growing the business. So it's called Growing the Business, and which will have a similar structure, give stories and proving point for people to grow business. And in one of my chapter, I'm actually talking about getting Google ranking for 1 star. And then you're going to be sitting there goes, what? You want me to grow a business with 1 star? Yes. And I'll tell you why. So wait for my book.
Thank you so much for your time, Ying.
All
It was
right.
great to hear your perspective of IES over the years. And thank you again for
All right.
this.
And wish IES do really well this time. And this is our first virtual event. And please support us by registering and donating that $15 registration fee. And we will exchange that with the book to you.